is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Florida.
One of the great stops in San Francisco, if you can stop, Lombard Streets. Marlins and Giants. Marlins would like to stop what's happened in this series. The Giants have taken the first two with big first innings, great pitching. The series concludes on a Sunday afternoon. All the boats are coming into McCovey Cove. Another sellout here, 419 straight for the Giants. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Eduardo Perez. It's been a one-sided series so far, but for Miami, the necessity is get a win here and head to Los Angeles and try to regroup.
Without a doubt. You like setting the tone, don't you?
Yes.
Well, the San Francisco Giants have set the tone early in this series. That first inning has been really tough for the Marlins. They need to set the tone early. The Marlins do by putting a goose egg up against the Giants.
You're right. Not easy for Jose Fernandez. Not easy for Jared Cozart. 5 first-inning runs for the Giants. So if you're Adam Conley, that first inning's got to be at the top of your list.
Without a doubt. Start with that fastball, start early, start often, and be able to pitch inside on this Giants team. Loaded right now with right-handed hitters. Needs to be able to do that to make that slider look effective, to be able to get out of the first inning with less, please, less than 20 pitches.
Remember Conley's last start, 6 1/3 scoreless. He was terrific until the Washington Nationals got to him in the 7th. Miami in San Francisco needs a win. The Fish and the Giants finish off. A red-hot Christian Yelich has Barry Bonds smiling, but the Giant bats have been the decider. The finale coming up. Miami Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Bank United. Switch to Bank United today. Visit us at BankUnited.com or call 877-779-2265. By your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Well, the fans are all here. Matt Cain, the tall 31-year-old out of Germantown, Tennessee, is ready to take the hill. And to change things up on a Change It Up Sunday, Eduardo at the lineups, brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Well, leading off, Dee Gordon needs to get on base for the Marlins to get it going. Marcell Ozuna in the 2-hole. Christian Yelich in fuego, 471 average. On base percentage off the charts, leading the National League. Giancarlo Stanton in the 4th spot. Justin Bour. Derek Dietrich playing 3rd base. JT Realmuto in the 7th spot, catching behind the plate. And Miguel Rojas at shortstop. And on the mound, Matt Cain.
Dee Gordon in the box. First pitch is a fastball for a strike. Oh, 1 is in. Gordon, like a few of the Marlins, has not had a great series. He's 1 for 8. And last night against Jake Peavy was 0 for 4. Drops down a bunt. Duffy good at 3rd, and he gets him. Not a bad bunt, but a terrific play by the Giants' young 3rd baseman.
Watch where Duffy is right off the get-go. Nice bunt by Dee, trying to get there. It's a do-or-die play. Has to be able to barehand it, come on in. See how close he is? Comes in, doesn't hesitate. He's been there all series. First time Dee shows bunt. 1 out.
Now Marcell Ozuna with Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton in the cleanup spot. Ozuna last night banged a triple in the gap in right center. The Marlins never really got going last night against Jake Peavy, who now offers a fastball in the 89-mile-an-hour range. But Peavy was terrific. 2 runs over 7 innings. And the Marlins managed just the 8 hits. And Ozuna lines one into center field. That's a hit. Blanco over to get it. And a good sign from Ozuna. A 1-out single against Matt Cain, who had an injury-filled year last year. And if he could avoid pitching in the 5th inning this year, he would not have an ERA.
He wouldn't. He's been solid throughout. Has been able to hit every location, and then comes that 5th inning and the wheels just come off.
Yeah, every run he's given up has been a 5th inning run. Look out. Yelich cracks one wide of first. Christian Yelich from the very start of the season has been on it. Pitch selection, check. 15 walks. Power, check. 7 doubles and a home run. High batting average, got that too. 3rd best in baseball. On base percentage, the best in baseball. And Yelich fouls it back to the screen. Yelich and the Marlins look like on this Change It Up Sunday themselves are changing it up. Yelich has got the high solid socks, as does Ozuna at first base. Ozuna was caught stealing earlier in the series. Stanton's on deck. Cain's out in front, 0-2. And a pitch misses in. Yelich opened the series with 3 doubles on Friday night in his last 3 at bats. 1 for 3 last night with another walk. He's reached base in every game Miami's played. 16. He swings and misses there and strikes out.
Well, that 0-2 pitch, perfect pitch to get Yelich then to chase for the strike 3.
Giants defensively, I'm on it. Southwest Airlines brings it to you. Angel Pagan, Gregor Blanco, Hunter Pence in right field. Matt Duffy, Buster Posey's over at first on the corners with Crawford and Panik up front. And Trevor Brown gets the start behind the plate on this Sunday after a night game last night. Now Giancarlo Stanton 0 for 8 in the series. Stanton 3 strikeouts last night, 1 strikeout on Friday night. Eduardo on Marlins Live, we saw Stanton against Cain. He's had success. And you see the numbers.
And he has had success against him, but I think right now his biggest challenge is himself. That's a really good take. 2-0 right there, following it all the way through. Yesterday against Jake Peavy, he was taking and swinging at those pitches. Let's see if Don Mattingly gives him the 3-0 go-ahead swing away.
Strike. Not a bad spot for Cain, who kind of hit that pitch on the outside part. Right on the corner. It's a great pitch at 3-0. See what he gets here. 2 outs. Ozuna the runner at first. High chopper. Duffy charges and can't get it. It's under his glove, and with Stanton's speed, that's a base hit. And maybe that's just a little bit of a start to get things going. Now remember where Duffy was for the Gordon at bat?
I wonder why. Look at the difference. If he would have been where he... That's just tough to get. That's the only play he had. Try to come in as fast as he could. Giancarlo smelling a hit the whole way. Gets it.
All right, now here's Justin Bour with runners first and second. Giants infield is shifted. Duffy the only infielder on the third base side. And Bour takes a strike as the off-speed pitch from Cain. 5 hits in the series. Bour last night had 3 singles. And he continues to drive the ball to left field and go against the shift with success. Cain jams him. Quickly the count's 0-2. Bright day in San Francisco. You see the glasses that Bour's wearing. Justin checks in at 288. Up and in. And Cain gets the strikeout, and Miami's first is done. The Marlins lead 2 underway in San Francisco. Giants bottom first. Adam Conley getting ready to face this lineup. Brought to you by UL Sports Medicine and Eduardo Perez.
Angel Pagan leading off, hitting .320 so far in this young season. Joe Panik, it's backpack day here for Joe Panik. Matt Duffy in the 3 spot. Buster Posey at first base. Hunter Pence in right field. Trevor Brown taking over behind the plate. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. Gregor Blanco in the 8th spot, playing in the 8th spot. And then on the mound, Adam Conley.
Conley's numbers, the ERA a little deceptive. Remember, they start in D.C., gave up 3 runs in a ball game that was stopped by rain. His start was washed out, and a fastball spins Pagan around, and it's 1-0. And of course, his last time out, 6 1/3 without a run and just 4 hits. And then all of a sudden, in the 7th inning, 5 hitters later, the Nationals had 4 runs, 2 homers, and 4 hits. So that erased what was a terrific night with 8 strikeouts. Liner into right center, and that's a base hit. And Pagan's aboard. And that first inning hurdle that Cozart and Jose stumbled over, Conley trying to get over. Defensively, Southwest Airlines aligns the Marlins this way. Yelich, Ozuna, Stanton in the outfield. Martin Prado still not with the team, hopeful that he returns in Los Angeles. Miguel Rojas getting a start at shortstop for Denny Echeverria. Gordon at second, Bohr at first. And JT Realmuto back behind the plate. Jeff Mathis caught last night. And here is Mr. Backpack, Joe Panik. And last night on Matt Duffy bobblehead night, Duffy enjoyed the night. The Duff man cracked 3 hits. So a lot of kids wearing the Joe Panik backpacks as they came to their seats in a full house in San Francisco.
Well, hopefully for the Marlins, sorry to go there, but maybe they can keep his hits packed away in those backpacks.
Let's get that out of the way early. Here's a 1-1 to Panik.
It's a good pitch right there by Conley. Setting up away. Trying to get Panik to chase and just did not bite.
So 2-1. Pagan, a couple stolen bases this year, not a big lead. And Conley goes to 3-1. Duffy, Posey, Pence lined up next behind Panik.
I don't expect Pagan to go here. 3-1 with no outs.
That's a strike. The Giants have pulled within a game of 500. They're at 9-10. You can see on Fox Tracks. Great location right on the corner. The Marlins, dropping the 2 games here, have dipped to 5-11 and arrive in Los Angeles tonight for a 4-gamer that starts tomorrow night. Up the middle, Rojas out there, a double play, and Adam Conley, it looked like, thought about going after that baseball, but then realized that he had his infielders behind him.
Yeah, that's a good chance, and right there, good reaction by Conley. Not putting the mitt in there and not panicking. Rojas just steps on the bag. Perfect throw to Bohr. See, nicely done. Get out of the way. You have to know where your defense is set up.
Looked like he did take a stab at that one. And fortunately for Adam, he didn't get the glove on it. Now Duffy, who is perking up. His bat has started to look a lot like the guy that last year finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Chris Bryant. Duffy 9 for his last 19 on a 5-game stretch. Right field, Stanton makes the catch. 12 pitches. That hurdle of the first inning, Adam Conley is up and over. of Miami Marlins baseball. Now that's what you need at McCovey Cove. You need a retriever with a special handle to get him up into the raft. Very nice. Not a retriever in the as far as breed goes, but he's doing quite nicely out there beyond right field. Derek Dietrich, Matt Cain. Here goes the second, and a fastball sails up. Dietrich, Real Muto, and Miguel Rojas facing a guy that's been a rock in the Giants rotation for some time. And Cain misses away. It's 2-0. Cain, of course, terrific postseason pitcher in 2010 and 2012 when the Giants won World Series in both of those years. 8 starts in his postseason career and an ERA in the low 2s. But no postseason in 2014. Well, look at that.
That's awesome. You don't see that anywhere else in baseball.
No, you don't. Up the middle on the shift, Crawford is there and he gets the out.
One thing I've noticed from Matt Cain so far with the lefties, which haven't been able to get a hit off, and the righties are the ones that have been able to be successful. He's pounding them inside, hard in, and then showing that changeup away early. Let's see if that trend continues throughout the game.
JT Real Muto now. Real Muto on Friday night found himself in the 2 spot and was 0 for 4. And Eduardo, you talked about the right-handed bats and the necessity to help out the lefty bats, and Real Muto certainly in that company. 0 for his last 11. And the count 1-1. Barry Bonds, Frank Menechino behind the cage today. The Marlins did hit, and Real Muto smacks one into center field.
Well, the righties have responded in a big way in the first 2 innings.
Especially at Marlins Park or even this ballpark, MLB.com ballpark app, perfect complement. If you're going to a major league game, you get maps of the ballpark, menus, order food from your seats, and you get access and display your game tickets for entry into Marlins Park. Check in with the ballpark app and receive special offers and gifts. Get the MLB.com ballpark app today. Miguel Rojas getting the start, and Eddie Echeverria a day off, maybe a mental day off for Etch. Sundays, a lot of teams with a Saturday night game hit in the cage, but the Marlins went through a full batting practice.
And I thought it was necessary the first day here Friday. They did not hit with the rain that had come down before the game. So you get 2 days of outside, and you know guaranteed in LA it'll be sunny.
Out to second, Crawford's turn in time. And the Giants get a double play. Matt Cain wipes out the fish in the second. Scoreless. Action out there on the bay. Big boats, little boats. Eduardo liked the fireboat. Major League Baseball's global reach seems to be greater than ever. For now, though, Cuba remains one country that is outside its reach. Special documentary. You had a peek at it last week. Cuba, baseball's final frontier, premiering tonight after Marlins Live postgame on Fox Sports Florida. That's approximately 7:30, but it's after Marlins Live postgame. Marlins and Giants here. Cuba, baseball's final frontier. Of all the things you saw in our preview and our special, what part of that documentary interested you most?
I'll be honest with you, the whole thing. Orestes Destrade, I think, is the story is impactful. Each one of us has a different story, but it's all with the same common denominator: family.
Here's Buster Posey. Adam Conley got a double play himself in the first. He gets Posey, Pence, and Trevor Brown in a scoreless ball game. I liked, and one of the things that really resonated with me was Cookie Rojas and his story about the ball players, the Cuban ball players who knew things were changing in the late, I think it was 59, and had to make a decision. Conley knocks it down with his backside and gets the out. They had that secret meeting and had to decide whether to get out and stay out. And I can't imagine the pressure that must have put on fathers and sons and guys like that. And Conley gets a hard-earned out number one.
Yeah, tough one, but he'll take it, especially when you can get the leadoff hitter, that being Buster Posey. Very aggressive with him. That's one thing he has to be able to do. We talked about it in the pregame. Get out in front, establish inside like he's going right now.
Hunter Pence, a chopper. Conley's got it, spins and throws and gets the out. And this is what we've seen from Conley this year. Uncomfortable swings.
Well, it's a whipping action that he has. He's got legs, arms, everything coming at you. Right here, look at Pence's reaction. You think that's comfortable? Look, what? Where is it? Oh, it's up. Oh, now I have to run? Absolutely. Gotta love him. Marlins will take those swings all day long, and that's the hitting coach, Bam Bam Meulens, right there with his arms over the top.
Strike to Trevor Brown. Brown getting the start behind the plate. 24-year-old out of Southern California and a UCLA Bruin. Solid hitter in the minors. And a backup to Buster Posey. Being the backup to Buster Posey means that you're going to see a little bit more time than most backup catchers. The Giants like to put Posey at first base just to keep his legs fresh. So you'll get the off days for Posey and the days when Bruce Bochy, a catcher himself, has Posey at first, like in this ball game.
One thing I can tell you right now is Adam Conley's tempo on the mound, very good. Gets on that rubber. A lot more confident, quicker. No matter right now, even after that base on balls, that's one thing you like to see. It'll keep your infielders in the game, defense on their toes. That was a close pitch right there. You see where Fox Tracks had it. Could have gone either way.
Brandon Crawford now. A couple hits in the series for Crawford. Marlins headed to Los Angeles tomorrow night. They get Ross Stripling, the right-hander who flirted with a no-hitter. Wei-Yin Chen goes for Miami. Up the middle, Gordon to his right, backhand stop. And he can't get the throw off. It rolls to the catcher. Holding second, though, is Brown. Gordon made a terrific dive to get it. Probably thought about second. And then when he tried to throw to first, the ball slipped out of his hand.
Give a lot of credit to Trevor Brown right here, hustling to second base. Sliding, had no chance but to go to first, and right there he should have just held on to it as soon as he saw he did not have a chance, and I think that's why the ball slipped out of his hand. As soon as he came up, he saw where Brandon Crawford was. He said, "Woo, thank you, JT Realmuto, for being right there, saving not only him from a costly error, but from runners to go to second and third."
Now this is an area that has hurt Miami in the first 2 games of the series, the 8-9 spot for the Giants. Although the 8 spot is Gregor Blanco and not the pitcher. Blanco last night blistered back-to-back triples. In consecutive at-bats, he tripled once into right center, once into straightaway right. And he, believe it or not, he leads the National League in triples now with 3.
And right here, Adam shouldn't even try to think about taking anything off. First pitch, down in the zone for strike, came up a little bit. Gregor fouled it off. Look for JT Realmuto to ask for another fastball up in the zone to see if Gregor will chase.
Breaking ball into center field, and a base hit, and the Giants are on the board. You didn't get your fastball up. You got a breaking ball that was out over the plate.
You did him a favor. Did him a favor throwing a breaking ball right there. You got him already with 2 pitches. Fastball, what you want to do is elevate, make him chase. Tell the inexperience and the youth right then and there. You can tell by the swings where you should go. Pitch out over the plate, 0-2. That right there cannot happen.
And once again, this spot of the order hurts the fish. And Matt Cain with a healthy rip, and it's 0-1. Jake Peavy last night with a 2-run single. Jeff Samardzija Friday night, 2 hits, including a 2-run single and an RBI hit. 3 RBIs for Samardzija. So don't sleep on Matt Cain.
And right now, 1-1 count. Beware with the runners at the corners if they'll put a play on.
This is the hit parade for Giants pitchers.
Yeah, one thing they do well is they're able to swing the bat. Giant pitchers taking a lot of pride. We haven't even seen their best hitter.
No. Well, we saw him in batting practice last night.
Yeah, it was 4 out of 5 per round, just going deep.
And that was Madison Bumgarner. Cain swings and misses at a changeup, but the Giants get the first run and lead at 1-0. Juan Nieves, Miami's pitching coach, and JT Realmuto, and I'm sure they're discussing that two-strike pitch to Gregor Blanco.
Absolutely. You have to go through the growing pains of a young battery, but right here, this situation, when you have an overpowering fastball like Adam Conley has, finish him off with it. That's your best pitcher, able to locate it early on. First time around the lineup, Gregor Blanco yesterday hit the triple against Cody Ige on a breaking ball, showing that he can handle that. And I think their pitching coach, Juan Nieves, did the right thing. You go up to JT Realmuto and you have to let him know you're better than that. We've gone through our homework. Have to be able to recognize swings in the middle of the at-bat.
So Matt Cain has a lead, and for Cain, not a lot of run support this year. That kind of fits his profile. He never has had a great run support as a Giant. He always had the low ERA early in his career with a losing record. Adam Conley leads it off. D. Gordon, Marcell Ozuna will follow. Conley lifts one in the air to left. Pagan makes the catch. Auto Nation scouts Matt Cain with some help from Eduardo, of course.
Yeah, he's been slowed by injuries. A lot of us have during our careers, but he's battled back through it. Former first-round draft pick, 25th pick overall. 2012 threw a perfect game.
Yes, he did, and it was Gregor Blanco, I believe, that made that terrific catch to help seal that perfect game. But Blanco is his best buddies, provided him a 1-0 lead. Gordon out trying to bunt for a hit. There's actually Angel Pagan in left. Fastball misses away. Two and one. Gordon trying to get aboard. Giants have done a really nice job of keeping him off the bases, keeping the running game under control.
Doesn't matter if it's a 3-1 count. Look where Matt Duffy is. He is close at third base. He knows D will put it down anytime.
And back into center field. That's a base hit.
You think D. Gordon is happy he got a base hit? Wants to join the party. Makes contact. First look is, let's look at the dugout. Yes, I'm on base. Let's have some fun now. Nice piece of hitting. Loves his fastballs.
So Gordon is aboard. And with one out, let's see if the running game is in play. Trevor Brown has thrown out just 1 of 7 base stealers this year.
And it's not so much on Trevor Brown as it is on Matt Cain to be able to change his timing, his looks between pitches, and then it's time to the plate.
It's funny, that last shot of Brown, he's wearing sunglasses. We've seen hitters come up with sunglasses, but most of the fielders have their sunglasses on their caps right now. You saw the shot of Pagan in left. There he is.
Yeah, it starts bothering you around 2 o'clock, 2:30 here, where the sun starts setting a little bit lower. You see the shadows right now and where they are with D. Gordon and Matt Cain.
One out. Cain. Gordon got a good jump. Brown's throw, and he's safe. Quick tag applied by Crawford.
And the interesting part was I wasn't even looking at D. Gordon. As you see, he got a really good jump. And when he did get that good jump, Marcell Ozuna in the 2-hole was able to take a pitch down in the corner, which was called the ball. Good adjustment by Ozuna, allowing and recognizing that D took off on the second pitch.
That was close out at second. The Giants actually took a peek at the replay. You saw the tag on the leg while the hand was arriving at the bag. So 5 stolen bases for Gordon. Scoring position. Ozuna line drive single in the first, and a 2-0 pitch when Cain decides to throw it.
The favorite count for Roberto Alomar, Hall of Famer, to steal third base. 2-0. Loved the situation. He thought the pitchers were focused on making a correct and accurate pitch.
Now Cain trying to get Ozuna to chase. The Marlins, for the most part, the right-handed hitters, first time through, seem to have adjusted and really haven't chased that pitch. Think about Stanton's at bat, Ozuna here, Real Muto's at bat, a single to center.
And this is what speed does. Even on 3-0 counts, see Matt Cain worried about Dee Gordon at second base, taking the focus off location and accuracy towards the plate.
He's running, pitch a strike, and Gordon's in there.
Beautiful. 3-0, get ahead, put the pressure on. You have to look at the secondary lead by Dee Gordon. Great job. You see, always moving his feet. 3-0, doesn't matter the count. He knows Marcell Ozuna has the red light, the take, so he's not disrupting at all the hitter. Beautifully done. Look at the footwork.
Now Ozuna takes outside, and a good at bat by Marcell Ozuna. Career stolen base 194. Gordon, the National League stolen base champ the last 2 seasons.
And watch right here as Trevor Brown looking across. Usually the catcher stands up and starts telling the infielders, where do I go with this throw, especially with a speedster. Really surprised he did not do that, instead going straight to the signs.
Breaking ball for a strike against Yelich, who struck out in the first. Well, Cain handled the left-handed bats the first time through. Gordon, Yelich, Bohr, Dietrich. Throw to first, and Gordon flashes down that third base line. And it's the right-handed bats that have put together good at-bats against Cain.
They have. They've been able to pick him apart. It doesn't seem like Cain is comfortable throwing inside on righties.
Ball and a strike. You see Yelich with a runner at third. And 1 out. The Giant infield so good up the middle with Crawford and Panik thinking 2. Does that make it likely that Ozuna is on the move? He's not running. And Yelich swings and misses. And it's 1-2 now.
This is interesting. You see that double play depth right here where both the shortstops are and the second baseman is, but there's a big hole in the 4-3 hole. A lot of teams now have tried to cover that hole and sacrifice the double play to get the out.
Yelich inside out and almost got himself an RBI hit. 4-3 hole to explain. The second baseman position 4, the first baseman position 3. And that one foul by a few feet. One and 2. And it's still 1-2.
Be surprised if Cain tries to go back to the well on the pitch he struck out Yelich, which was the changeup down and away. There it was right there. This time making the adjustment and taking it. Now Cain thinking, looking down, saying, where do I go now?
His best pitch of the at-bat was his first pitch. A backdoor slider that caught the corner to get strike one.
Might go there.
Breaking ball. Posey out there. Safe at first. And Miami has a run. Yelich getting down the line quickly. Kane was covering. D. Gordon already in the dugout with the high five line. Another look.
The Giants played this beautifully. It was the correct path. Go to second base. Kane covering first base, showing the athleticism and the concentration to do so. No play. Buster Posey had to go to second right there. You go to home with a speedster like Gordon, you're asking for trouble. If Gordon is safe at home, what happens? You'll have runners at first and second with one out and Giancarlo Stanton up? No.
Stanton fouls it up into the seats. Giancarlo Stanton, an infield hit back in the first on a high chopper. He looked comfortable. He took pitches that we've seen him swing at over the last few days. You've got speed, certainly with Yelich at first. A 1-1 game. And there's one of the pitches we talked about.
Yeah, he's laying off those. So far, so good in the first two at-bats. Again, this isn't as much as Kane as it is Giancarlo himself being able to make that adjustment.
Yelich runs, pitch a ball, and he's out at second. Ryan Gorman with the out call. The Marlins certainly will look at this one. Yelich still hanging out at second, and here's a look. Ooh.
He's safe. He never tagged him, did he?
Well, it looked like the hand was at the bag as the glove got close to Yelich. That's only the first view. And we'll certainly have another look.
A lot different. The Giants have yet to leave the field, and here comes Don Mattingly. Trying to buy time.
Marlins lost the challenge, and they are going to challenge this one. And I think Mattingly's slow stroll out was to buy another view or two of the play.
I just don't see where he tagged him. See where Panic is. His momentum is taking him one way. From that angle, we can't tell. But there's another angle at the beginning that we did.
I don't think the Marlins are going to challenge, are they? Wait a minute. The Giants are leaving the field.
He never tagged them. Remember, the laces of the glove do not count.
And the Marlins are not challenging. We'll look at it again when we return. Marlins have a run. It's a 1-1 game. in San Francisco. Adam Conley has thrown ball 1 to Angel Pagan with Joe Panik, Matt Duffy coming up. Top of the Giants order in a 1-1 ball game. Christian Yelich in that bang-bang play at second. I think, especially coming off yesterday where the Marlins lost that challenge, I think the feeling is they probably weren't 100% to left. Yelich is there, and he makes the catch. I don't know that it was clear and conclusive enough to overturn the call.
Right, if you don't have the correct camera angle, you don't want the call to stand. It can be overturned, it can be confirmed, and it can stand if you don't have 100% accuracy on it, and I think that's exactly what happened.
And your point was you felt that the glove didn't actually get to Yelich. I think in watching that replay, there's a good possibility you're right. I don't know that you can say 100% that the glove didn't get to him.
Absolutely.
As it is, Conley gets the first out with Pagan. Here is Panik. Does the jersey move?
Well, it's moving because he's moving on an angle right there, but no chance.
Didn't get the that left hip. But the problem is no chance isn't good enough.
For me it is.
To overturn.
They need me in New York.
I'm with you, but there's a strike. Panik bounced into a double play back in the first. I think for the Marlins at this point, they look up at the scoreboard and it's a 1-1 game. And that may be a bit of a relief because in the 2 games in this series, they've given up 5 first-inning runs and have been in a hole from the very start.
Well, it's a different story right now. You're already in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1 out, 3-2 count, and he's 39 pitches with this one in. That right there just tells you a different story. This was the first inning in both of the games. The previous games, you're behind. That D. Gordon has been on base, and once he gets on base, he creates havoc. He creates runs. He makes things happen, and that's their run without getting that hit.
To right and deep. Stanton after it, reaches, can't get it. It's in the corner, and that's Triple's alley, and that's exactly what Panik has. With thousands of Joe Panik backpacks in the ballpark.
Giancarlo Stanton made this play a lot closer than anyone else that plays right field in this league because he already plays in right center field, trying to make an old school football catch from his high school days. Gave great effort to it, and Panik, once he saw that ball landed, easily getting the 3rd base, standing up.
And importantly for the Giants, he's at 3rd. Here's Duffy, and a fastball misses in from Conley.
Interesting. The Marlins playing infield back with 1 out, showing confidence that they can score more runs off Matt Cain. This is where Conley has to make his pitches. Okay, you gave up a triple. So what? So far missed up 3 times. You know you're not pitching around him as you have Buster Posey on deck.
D. Gordon calls time, and he's in to talk to Conley. Conley out of Olympia, Washington. It's college ball at Washington State. You see Duffy very good in this spot. All 4 times this year he's been able to bring home that run. So he walked him, and here comes Posey. Sweet Reynolds, good way to see a ball game, and you can do it for just 1 game. Get a cool menu. Got the great seats, beverage options as well, from groups of up to 60 guests from 16 to 60. Book your Marlins suite at 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com/suites. Well, you have a young left-hander, Adam Conley, against one of the guys that's so good in Major League Baseball in this spot, Buster Posey. Pulls it on the ground. Dietrich out there. Gordon's turn out there. A 5-4-3 double play on a difficult ball to Dietrich's right. The Marlins get 2 and get out of the inning. And in San Francisco, 1-1. Marlins and Giants top 4 on a absolutely postcard day in San Francisco. Giancarlo Stanton resumes his at bat. Remember, he was at the plate when Christian Yelich was caught stealing to end the inning, and Stanton drives one to left, deep and gone. And just like that, Miami has the lead, and Stanton busts out of it with his 4th homer of the season. And I don't think he got all of that. It sure didn't sound like it.
Well, he'll take it, definitely take it, and getting on top of it, being able to get early. Look at D. Gordon, letting him know we're back.
You could see it coming. You could see the pitches that he took in both at bats. Sixth home run in his 24th game in this ballpark. And here is Bohr now.
See how early that double tap, getting that foot down, tap and go. Explosiveness.
Justin Bohr, right center field. A lot of room there. And Blanco runs it down. And here comes Derek Dietrich. So 2-1 Fish. Dietrich bounced to short in the second. Matt Cain, an all-star 3 times. Last time in 2012. We talked about the elbow issues that he had in 14 and 2015. It did not affect his golf game. Cain, along with Buster Posey, traditionally play at Pebble Beach in the Pro-Am.
Must be nice.
And at 15, Cain won the Jack Lemmon Award. Jack Lemmon, the former actor, avid golfer, and that is the amateur that helps the pro the most. So he won the best amateur in Pebble Beach. That, of course, is the tournament where you often see Bill Murray rolling in the sand trap.
Now, what Clint Eastwood is he's pretty much the one in charge of Pebble Beach, right? He's the chairman.
Well, he lives down there.
He lives there, but I think he's like the chairman of the board also of Pebble Beach, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably a good possibility. I'm sure he gets whatever he wants there. Just foul back to the screen, because he always plays in that tournament as well. And that, of course, was the Bing Crosby tournament for so many years, the Crosby Clambake. Dietrich battling, 0-2 pitch coming, and time called. And Cain comes in and gets a strikeout. Toyota brings you an inside look. Giants pitching. First 17 games. And then you add up the start of Jeff Samardzija, Jake Peavy, and the bullpen work. Javier Lopez has appeared in both games. An 8-1 and a 7-2 win for the Giants in the first two games of the series. Real Muto, a base hit.
That inside look, Toyota's got a nice little RAV4 working.
That's a fine vehicle. I have a brother that is a proud RAV4 owner. Ball and a strike. That one fouled out of play. Hope all is well back home. Marlins out here on the West Coast, 4 in Los Angeles. They'll see Clayton Kershaw on Tuesday night. Tom Kohler gets that assignment. Scott Kazmir on Wednesday. And Kenta Maeda, Japanese right-hander. And Real Muto has got another hit. And the right-handed bats that you talked about on Marlins Live have come to life here. Stanton with 2 hits, including a homer. Real Muto with a couple of hits. Ozuna hitting a walk.
And you see right now, Matt Cain struggles a little bit against those righties. And look at the righties loving on the righties. Ozuna, Stanton. This right here, believe it or not, big at bat from Miguel Rojas to get Adam Connolly from not leading off next inning with 2 outs.
Pitch is out. Rojas bounced into a double play in the second. 6 hits for the Marlins. Always an honor to go on the pregame show for the Giants with Marty Lurie, Miami native. His sister's big Marlin fans. Tip of the cap to you. On to first in time. Giancarlo Stanton bust out with a solo homer. For last night, Giancarlo Stanton was 0 for his last 13, and Don Mattingly had to answer the question, what's wrong with Big G?
With Big G, it's just going to be a matter of time, and he continues to work. I thought watched his batting practice today. I thought it was as good as I've seen him this year. That hadn't transferred to the game, didn't transfer to the game tonight, but with Giancarlo, it's a matter of time. He's going to catch a ball here soon, and then he's going to be off and running.
Well, he caught a ball here against Matt Cain, and it started good BP last night and good BP today. How does that translate to at-bats in a game?
Just confidence, a lot of repetition, and seeing the ball up. Being able to let go of any pitch down and away. I mean, he really hasn't struggled with pitches in the zone. It's been his pitch selection all throughout. Laying off those tough pitches and being able to work to the pitch he can control.
So a 2-1 Miami lead. Hunter Pence, Trevor Brown, Brandon Crawford against Adam Conley. Pence on a check swing, bounced back to the mound. Giants have 4 hits. Conley's walked 2, and Pence cracks one to center and deep. Ozuna looks, and it's gone, way gone.
Well, Hunter Pence did not like his first at-bat on a fastball in. This time, Conley tries to go back in, and the fastball's left out over the plate. Mislocation on a big-time middle of the lineup hitter. That's what happens.
Brown fouls it back. Busted bats. And Dietrich goes to first to get the out. Fox Sports supports the Surfrider Foundation. Every day is Earth Day this month. Make sure you make simple changes in your daily life, make a big impact on the environment. Go to foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Brandon Crawford. Crawford a hit in the second. Gordon got him. Wow, bang, bang.
Brandon Crawford really good when it comes down to bunting. You see D. Gordon decided to glove it. Thought he had a lot of time with it, enough time, better said, and makes an accurate throw to Justin Bour at first base.
And the Giants, looking at it, are going to review it. Yeah, it looks like
That's tough.
It's back of glove. Ball in back of glove is when the ball officially arrives. Let's see if Crawford's foot beats ball in back of glove. Back of glove. I think the foot's there. So it has to be enough to overturn. Crawford hasn't budged. He's pretty confident.
Well, whatever I say, it's going to be the opposite.
So clear and conclusive. Is it clear and conclusive that that call was correct or incorrect?
That's the thing. How can you say if it's clear and conclusive? It could be just a stance, because it's very difficult to determine. Here we go. Out. See?
Wow. Wow.
Told you. Very difficult to overturn. You have to be 100% sure. See, right when it goes into the glove, you cannot tell.
They're saying confirmed. Remember, it's not when it goes into the glove, it's back of glove. Soon as you see it hit back of glove.
And Dee Gordon, if he tries to bare hand that ball was coming in pretty hard, it would have been even more difficult for him to do.
There have been two really difficult replays today. The Yelich play at second was hard. Blanco pops it foul. And then that play at first was a difficult one. That illustrates to me that people say, well, umpires aren't important anymore with replay. But the umpire's call is key in that. The original call kind of defines what has to happen. And overturning that call is really hard. It has to be, as they always say in umpire language, clear and conclusive. And so that initial call is enormous. Blanco takes out. And it's 3-1. Gregor Blanco, an RBI hit back in the second. Gordon, nice stop and a real nice play. But Hunter Pence with a solo homer has tied this game.
About the ballpark is the food. I've made my way over to section 114 on the promenade level because I heard that I had to check out the Porcini Donuts here at AT&T Park. Here they are. Now, most people think that this is going to be a sweet treat. It's not. It's actually a savory donut with those porcini mushrooms. But I saw a couple of Giants fans walking up to the line. They told me that this is absolutely the best spot in the ballpark. Guys, maybe I'll try and bring you a few of these as well.
Oh, donuts.
Text me. But
Porcini mushroom donuts.
I am so not holding my breath because so far we've received crickets.
A good source of protein, I'm told. Adam Conley is up and he takes a strike. Dee Gordon, Marcell Ozuna. It's been a good ball game. 2-2. Matt Cain, Adam Conley. Gordon out trying to bunt for a hit. Conley lines that foul and into the seats. Conley lined out to left back in the third. The Gordon single and a stolen base in the third. He ended up scoring on a Christian Yelich ground out. And then Stanton's home run in the fourth. Those are Miami's 2 runs. Conley swings the bat pretty well.
He does. He holds his own there, fouling off some tough pitches.
It was a college closer until that became an upperclassman at Washington State, so he didn't get many college at bats. On Saturday, the Marlins last night, a night game, followed by a gorgeous day here. Rain on Friday. Yesterday was nice in the evening, a little chilly, but the day here has been spectacular. And another full house. Last night, 41,886. And today, the 419th consecutive sellout.
This has been a great at-bat by Conley. Going into his 9th pitch right now. Or going into his 10th pitch of the at-bat. Battling through.
Brown wants another fastball. Conley hits a 2-hopper out to Crawford. That was a terrific at bat. In DC, 9th inning.
Well, the Marlins saw a lot of this. This time, pinch hitter Bryce Harper making it look easy. 3-2 count. They tied up at 4.
Against the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, kid special.
No kidding.
I've said it all the time. That's must-watch TV. There's a handful of guys in Major League Baseball, and he's definitely there.
His 9th homer of the season. And he leads the National League in runs driven in.
That's one of the discussions I've had all throughout. And you at home, follow us and let us know on Twitter also with who do you think is a must-watch TV hitter? George Clooney? Julia Roberts?
Good timing there. Very nicely done. That's going to be a base hit. Panic got a glove on it. Gordon has his 2nd hit, and he's aboard. Conley softened up Kane, and Gordon gets the hit. Now remember, Gordon stole a couple bases in the 3rd.
Watch this route. As he's running hard, he sees it, kicks off, and he's thinking about going to 2nd when he does the turn. Oh. What does it feel like to be that fast?
Probably pretty good. Let's see if that speed is on display again. And you would expect Kane to try all he can to keep him. He's running on the first pitch. Ozuna lines it into right field. Base hit. Gordon steps on the bag. A left turn, and he's on to 3rd. How about that from Marcell Ozuna?
I love it. They're actually playing a lot of Giants baseball right now, staying up the middle. The right-handed hitters so far have been able to do that. Location away, that's the pitch that has been getting Ozuna out, hitting in the hole. Nicely done. Now you have runners at the corner with Christian Yelich up at the plate.
Brown out for a visit with Kane. Gordon talking about that turn at second. And Giant fans are probably murmuring to themselves right now, uh-oh, it's that 5th inning curse for Matt Cain. Every run he had given up in his 3 previous starts had been in the 5th inning. Now, obviously, the Marlins had 2 coming in. But it's worth noting that the 5th inning has been rough on Matt Cain. Yelich takes a strike. Yelich drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, struck out in the 1st. And he bounces it to the left to Panic. Out there, no chance at first. Yelich runs so well, and he's driven in another run. And so Yelich, with a couple of ground ball outs to the right side, has produced 2 runs. And the Marlins didn't get a stolen base, but the speed, putting the game in motion, pays off.
Without a doubt, and this is what the Marlins have to do, continue to put pressure and be able to answer back after the Giants scored in that bottom half of the 4th inning.
Now Stanton. 3rd at bat against Cain, who wastes a slider away. And again, if you're just joining us, it's significant that you have joined for that pitch right there, because in his 1st at bat, 2nd at bat, you could see him taking pitch after pitch that he had swung at in that 0 for 13 drought that he was in. And so in this at bat, he got a fastball in and he lost it to left.
I don't see Matt Cain throwing Giancarlo Stanton anything good right here. The way he has taken the pitches today.
Here's a statistical question for you, and maybe for our baseball historian Dave Feldman, who's in the booth. Stanton was at the plate when Yelich was at first. He saw pitches, and then he cranks one out to start the next inning. Does he get credit for seeing those pitches and pitches per plate appearance?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, we're being told yes.
We're being told yes. As a total, you do get. Very interesting.
And does it count as just 1 plate appearance? Nice. See, that's why we have Dave here today.
Good old Dave.
He only comes in on Sundays when we have a series worth of questions to ask. Stanton walks. Explain this to me, Eduardo Perez. Why are the righties more successful against Cain than the lefties in the lineup?
Because Cain has shown the ability to throw inside on every left-handed hitter so far, and then it'll even out with the changeup and the 2-seamer down away. So far, the righties, if it's Osuna, if it's Stanton, if it's Realmuto, they've been able to capitalize, and Cain hasn't been able to throw anything inside, and they're feeling comfortable. You've seen him go up the middle, Realmuto has. You've seen Osuna go up the middle and the other way, and Stanton has been able to stay balanced at the plate without moving his feet. Matt Cain, if he wants to be able to get those righties consistently, has to be able to pound inside. Watch how comfortable he feels right now with lefties going in.
Bohr blasted one to deep right center for an out. A changeup away. Cain struck him out back in the 1st. With 2 outs, Justin 5 hits in the series coming into this ballgame. Big shift on. 2-0.
This should be Matt Cain's last hitter. Bruce Bochy showing a lot of confidence in his veteran right-handed pitcher, knowing that he pitched around Stanton and not taking him out because of wildness is giving him an opportunity to get through this inning. He knows he's struggled throughout the inning, and he's trying to at least give him a boost of confidence to get out of it.
2-1. Stanton's at first. Yelich at second. Good take by Bour.
And I think it's a big mistake by Matt Cain. Not going in on Justin Bour.
Pitches by inning. Up the middle, Crawford backhands and gets the out at first. But the Marlins get another run halfway through in San Francisco, a 3-2 Miami lead.
Francisco is known for baseball, San Francisco is known for cable cars, and San Francisco is known for Ghirardelli chocolate. Here at the ballpark, they have a setup where you can get Ghirardelli ice cream sundaes. Guys, I know that you have an order placed. I placed my order as well. I see one right here that's waiting for me. Let's see if I can find a couple more and bring them to the booth for you.
Oh. With little cable cars, climb halfway to the stars, and then stop at Ghirardelli Square. As a kid growing up in the Bay Area, that was a Christmas tradition. Matt Cain at the plate, and Adam Conley trying to hang on to a one-run lead. Into the bottom of the fifth, Angel Pagan, Joe Panik. Good ball game here in San Francisco. Christian Yelich is driven in two. Giancarlo Stanton, a solo homer. Conley gave up a home run to Hunter Pence. That was in the fourth inning, and an RBI single in the second to Gregor Blanco. And Cain hitting, a strikeout victim in the second. Got him. Conley gets a strikeout. And here comes Angel Pagan. Marlins season tickets, prorated full season plans, start at just $6 a game. Got half season plans, 3 20-game mini plans as well. Get you entry into the Fish Family loyalty program. You see some of the Fish Family participants on trips like this because of their participation. Also get you access to the 2017 All-Star Game. Marlins.com/season tickets. Miguel Rojas kicks it at short. And an E6 has Angel Pagan at first base.
This is what speed does to you. Watch the head of Miguel Rojas. Comes up and is looking towards first base before catching the baseball. Right there trying to transfer it before funneling it into the midsection, as Perry Hill teaches. That's where you get in trouble.
Yeah, the feet, but no funnel.
No funnel. You have to be able to funnel that all the way into the belly area and then transfer there, minimizing that. Perry Hill talks about it all the time. You see how he goes in? and then he's already looking up before he even funnels it into the mid part.
So he tried to transfer down around his ankles.
Yeah, that's, Perry will let him know. He'll pick his moments. Might not be right away, but it's part of the art of coaching.
Now Conley has gone 2-0 on Panic with Duffy, Posey, Pence in the offing. And that just missed. 3-0. Looks like the Panic backpacks.
Looks like it wasn't only for the kids. There's a grown man wearing one right there.
To right, hooking, foul.
Well, Panic has put himself in a position of good hitters at bats. Last at bat with the triple, 3-2. This time again, 3-2, barely getting the ball out of here. Wouldn't be surprised if Pagan goes here.
He runs, and a little looper into left for a hit. Yelich collects it. Pagan stops at second, and here comes Duffy. So 2 on, 1 out, a 1-run game. Brews Room, always a good place to hang out in a Marlins watch party, brought to you by Corona and Corona Light at Brews Room. Like it.
Looks like a good old time. Is that considered a Sunday fun day?
Yes, but not in the same spirit as the Sunday fun day with the kids and Diamond Dash and all that. It's a different kind of fun. Not quite late night with the fish, but it's headed towards Sunday evening. It's happy hour somewhere, as Jimmy Buffett would tell you. And right now that's South Florida. Conley misses in. Duffy walked in the third, flied to right in the first. The Giants have been terrific in this series at situational hitting. Yelich has it. Runner comes home. Yelich's throw to the plate is a good one, and he's out at the plate. Yelich throws out Angel Pagan. No hesitation by Roberto Kelly, the third base coach, and Yelich on the fly guns him down.
Really surprised he sent him. Look, he already has the ball before he even gets to third base. You have the cleanup hitter and Buster Posey coming to hit with the bases loaded. Angel Pagan, yes, good speed. Christian Yelich, better arm.
The tag by Real Muto. So 2 outs, first and second, and now Posey. And Juan Nieves is out, trying to get Conley through this inning.
Yeah, trying to settle him down. Got Buster Posey last time on a 5-4-3 double play to get out of a big situation. Right now, runners at second and third. He cannot let down.
Posey 0 for 2. Stanton under it and has it, and Adam Conley with some help from Christian Yelich gets through the 5th and hangs on to a 1-run lead. And it's a 1-run Miami lead because of that man, Christian Yelich, the Gold Glover, 2 years removed. Yelich, and out there, and that reminded us of a flashback. What? Jeff Conine, JT Snow, Pudge.
Hold on to the ball.
Series over. Just a little memory. In fact, the Marlins, as Dietrich goes after the first pitch, broken bat, and it finds right field for a hit. Both times the Marlins have won a world championship, they've beaten the Giants in the postseason. Marlins, of course, wild card teams both times.
Now this is a Sunday fun day.
Yes! Yes!
You didn't doubt me, did you, Eduardo?
You came through.
Because I heard some doubt in your voice earlier.
Look how excited he is.
Yes! Sunday
Extra
fun
chocolate, extra whipped cream. Enjoy.
Genuine excitement from Eduardo. Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job.
All in a
yesterday.
day's work.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch Marlins Live yesterday, but this woman was everywhere in San Francisco, hosting every segment of Marlins Live. And it was terrific, from the windblown opening shot by the Golden Gate.
That was a good one.
To all of your, that one in the air off Real Muto's bat.
Uh-oh, here comes the sun.
The sun is out, and it lands between the two fielders. Pagan lost it. Blanco lost it. Holding third base is Dietrich. My goodness. Now remember, look at the sunglasses. Sunglasses on his cap.
Both of them, both center fielder and left fielder, have their sunglasses on their cap. One on the front, one on the back.
We talked about that in the second inning, how no one had their sunglasses on. It's later in the game, and they're still not on.
Told you about the time of game, around 2 o'clock, 2:30. That's when it hits. You see him trying to cover it, trying to ask for help. No chance. He had no idea where it was.
So my question, there you go. And the crowd is reacting to the sunglasses going on. It's a double. Jessica Blaylock coming through with a nice gift there to center field. Blanco sets up. Dietrich tags, catch is made. Dietrich comes home, the throw is offline, runner going to third, and the Marlins take the extra base. And the Giants break down defensively. A Sun lost double and a bad throw home. It's a run, and now a runner at third with Conley coming up.
Well, we haven't had a ball lost in the Sun. Things are happening for the Fish. Is it a coincidence now that we get a little bit of the Sunday with Jess here?
I don't think it's coincidence
No?
at all. No, I think it's perfect timing, actually.
Blanco still doesn't have his sunglasses on in center field. I don't get that.
This is a nice view from up here, by the way.
Infield's in. Conley's up. Little dribbler. First base side. Runner comes home, and it's foul.
Almost a big mistake by Buster Posey actually making that play. Let it go foul. It's going to be very difficult to get Real Muto, a very good runner at third base. You're right about Blanco, still not with the sunglasses. Always the left fielder is the one that's affected mostly by it.
But Blanco clearly didn't see the ball either, because he wasn't in the gap. He didn't see it either. Swing and a miss.
You wonder why the left fielder doesn't have it on at all times. Sometimes they feel that they can't see it well off the bat. But the problem is that perfect spot where it lands once it gets in the sun area. Still no excuse.
You see the hazy sky from the outfield. Meanwhile, remember the at-bat Adam Conley had in the fifth when he had the ground ball after fouling off all those pitches. He's behind in the count, battling with the infield in, and Real Muto, the runner at third base. King, you know, we thought his last hitter was going to be last inning, but here he's battling. And Conley looking like an everyday player with the pitches he's taking and the pitches he's fighting off. And that one he swings and misses. So the Giants get the second out. Gordon's coming up. I don't know that he's going to face Kane, though. Our Geico moment. 1987, across the bay, Rickey Henderson, first player to hit 2 home runs off 2 20-game winners in the same game. He got Phil Niekro and Steve Carlton. So a Sun lost double, 2 Ghirardelli Sundays, and 2 home runs off of 2 Cy Young winners. Kane exits 4-2 Miami. Wes Kendall called to the bullpen. Jeep is a presenting sponsor of Marlins Baseball. Busiest stand in the place, the Ghirardelli Sunday stand. Our thanks to Jessica Blaylock and the folks at Ghirardelli. D. Gordon up, Steve Okert in. First pitch misses out. Miami's lead is 4-2, but a chance to add another run. JT Realmuto 90 feet away, and the lefty Okert coming out of the bullpen. Third appearance, has yet to give up a run. Corners in. Fastball on the corner. Okert was in AAA Sacramento for being called up on Tuesday of this week. Gordon takes down low. You've got Ozuna on deck and nobody throwing in the Giants' pen. In the air and out of play. Okert was a 4th-round pick of the Giants out of Oklahoma. He's closed a little bit in the minor leagues. 2-2. And he gets Gordon on a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Trevor Brown. But Miami adds on with a little help from the Sun. Miami Marlins Baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Now by Checkers, fast foodies know the deal. San Francisco. This is a place where Miami has played very well since the 2010 season. Adam Conley into his 6th inning. Conley in his 5 innings, 7 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Before Friday night's game in this ballpark, Miami had won 15 of the last 22 games played here. And of course, in that time span, you've got 3 world championship opponents for the Giants. Conley a strike to Pence, who blasted one to center in the 4th for his 3rd home run of the season. And you see Conley turn with the glove up, yelling into his glove. A walk to Pence. a flight to Los Angeles, actually, for the Marlins. Marlins live tomorrow. I don't know that that time is correct. In fact, I know that time is not correct. I think in Hawaii, Marlins Live airs at 3:30 tomorrow.
Aloha.
So if you're in Kauai, Honolulu, 9:30 on the East Coast. Iggy, the lefty, up. Now, coming out, remember we talked about the sunglasses the Giant outfielders didn't have. Dee Gordon's got the old school glasses on, and you wonder why more fielders don't wear those. You can have them on the bill of your cap when you need them. You just tap the bill, and the glasses go down automatically.
This is where Adam Conley got in a little trouble last time. Getting into the 85 pitch range this time. The day game has been up 3 times, has hustled to first base on a second at bat. Long pitches, and Juan Nieves is giving him an opportunity to get some little rest and try to have him focus again. And as Cody Iggy gets ready in the pen to try to get ready for Crawford, which right now would be the go-ahead run if 2 runners are on.
Well, there's 2 bats down there in the lineup too, right? There's Crawford, and there's the guy that has hurt him today and hurt him last night, Gregor Blanco.
Right, Gregor Blanco deeper in that lineup, but you definitely need to be able to have your pen ready, and history already has told you that Conley has struggled going into this amount of pitches, going into his 80th pitch.
To right, pretty well hit. Stanton is back there. Tell you what, the Marlins have had Stanton over the last 3-4 years just playing right out in Triples Alley, and it sure has paid off.
Really, as you see Giancarlo also with his glasses, doesn't have to move much, already in right center area. I like how the Marlins bunch it up the middle here.
Brandon Crawford, infield hit, bounced to Dee Gordon. Trying to get Conley through this 6th inning. Pence at first. Crawford has popped. He's homered a couple times, doubled 5 times. And last year, he really came into his own, especially in the power department. 21 homers, 33 doubles. 21 homers playing half your games in this ballpark from this side of the plate is pretty impressive. Slow tapper. Gordon is going to get the out at first.
Really like the way the fastball for Conley has been the X factor on the mound. When in trouble, you go to it. The off-speed pitch has been actually the one that has gotten him in trouble. That 0-2 pitch to Gregor Blanco earlier on. Been able to hit that fastball outside corner on the lefties, away on the righties.
Now Blanco, who got Conley for an RBI hit in the 2nd. Brian Morris joins Iggy in the bullpen. The Giants pen is active as well. And there's Morris.
Doesn't need to try to overthrow against Blanco. Just hit your spots. Already with good velocity.
Blanco's one of those guys that seems to get better the older he gets in terms of offense. He had his best offensive year of his career last year. 291, 368, 413 slash line, and 19 doubles, 5 homers. Always been a very valuable defensive outfielder and a guy you could move around in the outfield. Good piece to have. 3-1.
Well, a big part of their outfit, giving the starters days off. Denard Span taking one today. Whenever you can have a defender fill in up the middle and in the corners and not lose a lot, Gregor Blanco's been there for them.
All right, Conley loses him. Kelby Tomlinson, who had a pinch hit last night, is coming to the plate, a right-handed hitter. Marlins want to know if Morris is ready. They'll probably send Real Muto out for a visit to buy some time. The sign comes that Morris is ready. Tomlinson, pinch a penny pinch hitter. And don't let that look fool you. He's a really good hitter. Mattingly will bring Morris in. West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Miami hanging on to a 4-2 lead. Exits with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and he needs help from his bullpen to get this last out and get to the 7th. Brian Morris arrives. Now, Morris was summoned when Kelby Tomlinson was announced, but it's not Tomlinson that Morris will face. Brandon Belt. When the Marlins have seen the first couple of nights at first base, driven in 2 runs in the series, had a sac fly yesterday, 2 hits and an RBI single in game 1. Morris against Belt, runners first and second, 2 outs. And Morris misses down low. Couple of walks. Pence and Blanco. That's a swing, says Mark Carlson.
That's a little break, late break slider. Was able to throw it against Hunter Pence last time he came in to get out of a tough situation. Now going right back to it today.
Ball and a strike. And now it's 2-1. to left. It falls. It's a hit, and the Giants have a run. It's 4-3. And now you got Angel Pagan. Conley on the rail watching.
See the pitch right down the middle. Brandon Belt gets jammed a little bit, but is able, strong enough to get it over the third baseman's head. Lob it into left field. Christian Yelich just throwing it right back to third, keeping runners at first and second.
So same spot, first and second, 2 outs. Now it's Pagan. One for 3. And a big swing and a miss. Pagan hot early, cooled off over the last, we'll say, 5 or 6 ball games. Pagan a sacrifice fly last night, RBI single on Friday night, so he's starting to get back into a groove.
Well, Angel Pagan, after missing that ball in the sun, losing it in the sun, really wants to redeem himself. Pretty good moment for him to do it. And all the Giant hopefuls in the stands.
Ball and a strike. For Miami, coming into this series, in the games they lost, they just couldn't complete 9 innings. In games that they pitched well, they didn't hit. Games that they hit, they didn't pitch well. Liner to left, that's a base hit. Yelich on a hop, runner coming home, and Yelich can't hold it. The game is tied. And it's 4-4.
For Roberto Kelly again. Base hit to left field. He's sending the runner with 2 outs. This time Christian Yelich isn't able to handle the baseball. Not a bad hop. The problem was he put the right hand searching for it on the left side while the glove was about to trap that baseball.
Angel Pagan strikes again. The Giants have tied it. Inning's not over yet. West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Rallied, and with 2 outs, a couple of run-scoring hits. Brandon Belt, Angel Pagan. They chase Brian Morris. Cody Ige. Ige arrives. Joe Panik, the hitter. Runners at the corners. And that crossfire action misses outside. It's 1-0. Ige did not face Panik last night. Two and one.
One thing the Giants hitters have done with runners in scoring position is go the other way. They've done a nice job of not pulling off anything, being able to take the hit, keep the line moving, and keep driving those runs in.
Breaking ball and a late call by Ryan Blackney, the home plate umpire. Right up against it. Pitch number 4. 2-2. Ige made his major league debut last night. Pagan can still run a little bit, even at age 34. Good sharp breaking ball, and Ige gets Panik, strikes him out, but the Giants get 2 and tie this game at 4. Even in San Francisco, headed to the 7th inning. The Marlins and the Giants. Giants looking for a sweep. Marlins trying to salvage just the 1 game and get to Los Angeles and get that 4-gamer underway tomorrow night. With Eduardo Perez, Jessica Blaylock, Rich Waltz with you. Another sellout. 4,000 or at 41,000 509. 4-1, 509. And Derek Law out of the bullpen. 419th consecutive sellout for the Giants. There's a strike. Law, his first 3 big league appearances, has yet to give up a run. His father was sort of the Moonlight Graham of pitchers. Joe Law, called up 1988 by the A's, spent 4 days in the big leagues without getting into a game. Look out, Lenny Harris and Ball Dude.
Great move by Coop, third base. Still has it.
Marcell Ozuna is 2 for 2. A couple singles and a walk.
Law has already established he's more of an off-speed pitcher, throwing changeups and curveballs. Going fastball here.
Well, Law wanted it. It looked like Ryan Blackney, the home plate umpire, flinched a bit. Here's a look.
I think it caught the umpire off guard too, but very good call. Trying to freeze, pitching backwards.
And he missed again, same spot. Ozuna walks, so a leadoff walk. And you've got Yelich, Stanton, and Bohr due up. Group tickets get you a personalized experience and spend quality time with your guests, with your family, birthdays, networking, jump in the pool in the Clevelander, all of that. Marlins group sales, and you can jump in as a group, actually. Marlins group sales team. Make your reservation, 1-877-MARLINS. Go to marlins.com, groups today. Now Yelich takes a letter-high strike. Yelich in 0 for 3, but he's driven in 2 runs with a couple of ground balls. Marlins have put the game in motion. Gordon has swiped a couple bags. Ozuna on a run and hit. Banged one into right for a hit. One and two. Derek Law attended Miami-Dade Junior College. Swing and a miss, and Yelich is down.
Watch where the catcher was set up on this. Wanted the pitch away. Pitch was down in the zone. Fortunately for Law, did not keep it up. Stayed down, made Yelich chase. Showing that he has a very good off-speed pitch.
Stanton now. Stanton has homered, infield hit, and walked. Outfield a bit to right center.
Giancarlo believe he feels real comfortable having seen Law before, having not seen Law before.
Oh, 2. Stanton in a right center field, falls for a hit. So a 3-hit day for Stanton, and runners first and second for Justin Bour.
Law tried to sneak that fastball by Giancarlo. It's right off the end of the bat. Outfield was playing deep, preventing any doubles with a runner at first base. Gets that ball to fall.
And Law, the Pittsburgh native who played junior college ball in Miami, is headed out of this ball game. Bruce Bochy to the mound. A West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. The road trip starts here in San Francisco. It's on to Hollywood. All the stars will be out. Marlins in Dodgers for 4. Bernie Brewer on his slide. Craig Counsell, Ryan Braun, Eduardo Perez. They'll all be in Milwaukee for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday affair. It's an interesting trip, and the first 2 have belonged to the Giants. Josh Osich is in with 1 out, and the lefty out of Boise, Idaho via Oregon State. Chris Johnson will get the pinch hitting spot for Miami in place of Justin Bour, and Osich spins back towards Marcell Ozuna. The inning opened with a walk to Ozuna. This against the righty Derek Law. Yelich struck out. Stanton singled to right center. Strike. Johnson pinch hitting last night. Hit a sharp ball up the middle that turned into a double play. Stanton not being held at first. Oh, 1. End of the bat, little trickler. Out there and out there. Stanton tagged out by Panic, who then easily threw to get Johnson at first. And the Marlins thought about looking at it, but it looks like they will not. So a double play ends the inning in a 4-4 game.
Park, and if you make it to a game here and you have kids, this is the spot that you need to bring them to. There's wiffle ball, there's slides, but one of the coolest aspects of this area, check this out right behind me, a Buster Posey Lego display. And guys, how's this for a fun fact? Over 150,000 Legos went into making that happen.
Now that's pretty cool. Buster Posey coming to the plate. Now that last double play, the Marlins for an instant looked like they were going to challenge the play at second base. Here's a look from up above. Stanton does not go out of his base path. So he wasn't called out for going out of the baseline. He was called out for being tagged. Right now, that's our only look at that play. We'll try to get another look at it if we can, but Comcast Bay Area had a super slow-mo look. And in that one, it appeared that the tag didn't quite get him. We were trying to, efforting to get that from the Comcast truck to take a look at it. Here's a look.
We already know he's not out of the baseline, so take a look and make the call yourself.
Wow, that's close. Again, Eduardo, the initial call is so key because the initial call is out, so to overturn it, you have to be absolutely sure that he missed him.
Right, concise and conclusive.
And I don't know if you could from that. Kyle Barraclough into the ball game. Matt Duffy, Buster Posey, and Hunter Pence, teeth of the order for the Giants, 3-4-5 after a 7th inning stretch in front of another sellout at AT&T. Adam Conley was charged with 4 runs, but 2 of those runs scored. With Brian Morris coming in relief, he gave up hits to Brandon Belt and Angel Pagan. And Barraclough misses up and out. Count 2-1. Jacob deGrom returns and won as the Mets won 3-2 in Atlanta. deGrom now 2-0. Of course, he'd been out on paternity leave. That Nationals game, we showed you the dramatic pinch hit home run in the bottom of the 9th by Bryce Harper. They're still playing. It's bottom of the 13th, 4-4, Twins and Nats in DC. Out at first on the play by Rojas, and Duffy is retired. Here comes Posey.
Remember that error that Miguel Rojas made the first time? Watch now how he funnels it all the way and makes the transition around his belly area. That right there, from catching it to funneling it, and now you can make the transition. That's the way Perry Hill teaches it, to give consistency to his infielders.
Posey, an 0 for 3. Barraclough, who grew up in this area, grew up down in Santa Clara. That's where the 49ers' new stadium is. That's where the Super Bowl was held.
Now, how far away is that from downtown San Francisco?
Well, it depends on the time of day as far as traffic. Without traffic, you could probably make it 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. With traffic, you're looking at an hour and a half, hour 45 if it's rush hour and such. Super Bowl time, I believe it was a little longer than that. Stanton giving chase. Bangs off the wall. Posey round first. And on his way to second, and he's in there.
Buster Posey knows one thing. After he hits it, he puts his head down and starts running. Knows very good arm in right field from Giancarlo Stanton, and he needs to be able to get into scoring position already with one out. Giancarlo doing a nice job of getting that ball in. Play is in front of him. Decides to go in head first.
So the Giants have a runner in scoring position. Now Pence. Bearclaw grew up in Santa Clara, which is home to Santa Clara University. The bitter rivals of Santa Clara, the St. Mary's Gales, and that's where Bearclaw went to school. Fastball misses, and it's 2-0. Good rip. Now that's a 2-0 swing.
Yeah, he let it go. Let it fly. 2-0. Watch this, and watch his back leg, how it scissor cuts in the back. You're wondering, scissor cutting in the back. It's a lot of coaches teach. Remember Greg Walker, former hitting coach from the Atlanta Braves and Chicago White Sox, was teaching the scissor cut the back part instead of turning on your back leg. That back leg kicks out. It keeps the bat head in the zone longer. It's hard to pull off from it. A lot of great home run hitters used to hit that way. Henry Aaron being one of them. Paul Konerko another.
So from a right-handed hitter's perspective, that right toe turns towards first base.
That right toe turns and then it goes back. It actually moves back and it keeps the bat head from pulling off.
3-1. And it's 3-2. I don't know that you could put Pence's swing on video and say, kids. But to his credit, man, he makes it work.
See how it came off the ground there, just trying too hard of a swing.
Bearclaw, big moment. 3-2 to Pence. Posey's at second in a tie game. Got him. Slider, and it just bailed on Hunter Pence. And he still has an out to get. Trevor Brown comes up.
Big game pitch, 3-2 right there. If he walks him, so what? Runner would be at first base and you would have the double play in order. Instead strikes him out. That's a plus with Brown coming up.
Brown 0 for 2. To center, well hit. Ozuna has room and has it. And Bearclaw works a scoreless 7th in a 4-4 game, which goes to the 8th.
Francisco area. Bond spent 14 seasons with the Giants, and he achieved so much during that time, so it's no surprise that San Francisco wants to honor him around the ballpark. That includes this plaque right here that shows the 756 home runs that Bonds hit throughout the course of his career. 586 of those came in a Giants uniform, and a beautiful location for these plaques. They are located right alongside McCovey Cove.
Jessica Blaylock has been all over San Francisco, all over AT&T Park. You see the splash hits in right field. And rock of the old school. That's our code today. Splash hit. Marlins.com/fishfamily. See the old school Marlins jersey at the top of your screen. Derek Dietrich takes a fastball for a strike.
Would it be a bad time right now for a splash hit?
Dietrich, Real Muto, and Miguel Rojas. Josh Osich staying out there. Duffy gets Dietrich. And there's one out for Real Muto. Marlins seeing this lefty for the first time. Osich did not have trouble getting guys out in college. He threw a no-hitter against UCLA, beat Trevor Bauer that night. He did have trouble staying healthy, though. Tommy John surgery in 2010. And in 2011, he tore his subscapula muscle in his shoulder.
That sounds painful.
Yes, not sure where that is, but it does sound painful.
Under the scap.
Yeah, well, that's yes. Thank you, Dr. Perez.
There we go. Knew that Florida State education came in hand.
Nice day by Real Muto. Couple of singles, and he hit the ball that landed between Pagan and Blanco that was absolutely lost in the sun by both. And it went for a double.
Think they have their shades on? Oh, yes.
Yes, and he's looking up. He says, oh, yeah, that's Real Muto.
Both of them do.
Yeah.
Straight paranoia. I think Bruce Bochy said, boys, you want to stay out there, you better put those bad boys on.
They did not have him on when the ball left the bat for that double. Blanco's was on the back of his cap. Pagan's was on the top front of his. Real Muto, left field. That's deep. Pagan back. It's gone. First of the year, JT Real Muto. Boy, have a day. 4 for 4. And a home run gives Miami a 5-4 lead.
Good news for the Fish. Their right-handed hitters have come alive. Good news for Pagan. He saw the ball the entire way. Right now, Miami Marlins are rolling offensively when it comes to the guys that weren't coming around.
Ozuna 2 for 2 with 2 walks.
That was loud.
Real Muto 4 for 4, a double and a homer. Rojas a bunt, and the throw is in time to get Rojas. So Real Muto, no doubt about this one too, and this is obviously a big ballpark, and at sea level the ball doesn't carry all that well.
No, but it was loud. Nothing was stopping that ball, not even the wind. Good low trajectory.
Echevarria.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you can hear the press box announcer.
Echevarria.
Yeah,
That's not going to work.
I'm sure he'll have it adjusted if Echeverria does something or stays in the ball game. 2 outs. Osich misses in. Echeverria the day off. Rojas 0 for 3, but he did have an important sacrifice fly in the 6th. To further the right-handed bat discussion, which we had on Marlins Live, Eduardo documenting the guys that had been slumping. The headliner, of course, Giancarlo Stanton, but Marcell Ozuna, JT Realmuto, Adeiny Hechavarria. Stanton 3 for 3. And Hechavarria adds to that. How about that? All we need to do is just bring it up on Marlins Live, and it happens. So, I mean, if you add up Ozuna and Stanton and Realmuto and Hechavarria, that's what, 10 for 10 today?
And that is big news and good news. You get D. Gordon to get on base and the rest of the supporting cast to be able to come through. Big hit for Hechavarria.
See, you can do that with sarcasm. If I did that, people would say, what a knucklehead. But you did nicely with the good splash of that sarcastic tone. That's good.
Easier done when the Marlins have the lead.
You point to Gordon getting on. He's 2 for 4 with 2 stolen bases, scored twice. Hechavarria, the runner at first. Little tapper to third. Duffy gets the outs. Miami takes the lead. JT Realmuto, a solo homer. It's 5-4. Bottom 8. Journey is blaring here at AT&T. Marlins in-game box score. Eduardo Perez trying to get the right-handed bats going. How have they done?
Well, check. 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 This man right here getting on, making everything happen.
Oh, give me a check at the bottom there, will you?
Oh, check. Big time.
And we're happy to note that the second time through, the press box announcer did make an adjustment on the pronunciation.
But,
yes,
but instead of saying Hechavarria, he went with Hechavarria. He did pronounce the H.
He's close. David Phelps, Brandon Crawford, fastball up. as the Marlins try to hold on to this one-run lead.
Baby steps. Baby steps with the name.
All you can ask for. Miguel Rojas slides over to third base. And Echeverria at short, and Phelps misses in. Now for David Phelps, it's been a process. The better he's pitched out of the bullpen, the closer he's moved to the 9th inning. And here he is in the 8th with a one-run lead in San Francisco. Crawford a rip. You've got Blanco, and then the pitcher spot for the Giants.
Oh, he was late on that 2-0 pitch. Usually hitters are early trying to cheat. Brandon Crawford didn't pick that one well.
The wind has started to pick up here in San Francisco. High foul. Rojas at the rail, unable to get it. See the flags ripping out to right center. Crawford 1 for 3. Phelps, fourth reliever to work. Morris, Iggy, Barraclough, and now Phelps. Adam Conley 5 2/3. And Phelps misses in, and he loses Crawford. Here is Blanco. And for Phelps, it's going to be a parade of left-handed bats. Denard Span is on deck. Remember, that's Chris Johnson over at first.
Really surprised that on the first pitch they did not have Blanco bunting with those lefties coming up next. You're at home, usually play for the tie at home, play for the win on the road.
Other side of the coin, Blanco has swung the bat well in this series. But you're right, it's Phelps' inning. There's nobody throwing in Miami's pen, so he would have to face the lefties.
Right, and tough man to double up, and I think maybe that's what Bruce Bochy is thinking.
There's a ground ball, and it finds right field, and it's soft enough that Crawford's going to get to third. And the Giants are set up at the corners with nobody out.
Well, hit them where they ain't. Pitch got in on Blanco, didn't get too much of the good wood, but what a day to have. Pulls it in that hole. D. Gordon playing double play depth. You see Johnson covering the line. Now you have runners on the corner.
So here's Span, one of the offseason additions, and he's looked good in this series. 4 hits, he's 7 at bats, and the middle infield is back for 2. So a ground ball up the middle ties the game. Phelps misses in.
another tough man to double up. See those numbers against the Marlins. 307 batting average with 2 triples, 15 RBIs.
Phelps ready. It's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Most of that damage done as a Washington National.
This game has bounced back from either side. Giants took a 1-0 lead in the second. Marlins tied it in the third. Marlins took a 2-1 lead. Giants tied it right away back in that 4th inning. Phelps, looking at the home plate umpire, kind of put his glove up as if to ask, where was that? And it was up. And a 5-4 lead for Miami is in real jeopardy here. Crawford at third, Blanco at first.
Phelps looking for that strikeout or the pop up in the infield or a short, shallow one.
Gets strike 2, and it's 2-2. Bruce Bochy. A little Florida State flavor for you as well. Brevard Community College. Foul back to the screen. So Phelps isn't giving in. Span is not relenting. Two again. Oh, Realmuto held it. And it just missed. It just missed.
Absolutely, runners on the corners. I do not expect to see Blanco go right here. 3-2.
Phelps ready. And to first. It misses. They're loaded. So now David Phelps finds himself with the bases loaded and nobody out, and some really good hitters to face.
Really good hitters, and David Phelps showing a little frustration right there with some of those calls, yet on the Fox tracks, they weren't in the grid. Wanted a couple pitches in on Crawford, and there again on Span. Any ground ball to the corners or to Phelps will go home.
Middle infield is back. Pagan 2 for 4. Fly ball. Yelich over, slides and can't get it.
Nice try, but I think you heard me say no. Once he slides like that, you're better off just letting that bad boy drop. Fortunately for Christian, he didn't hit his knee on the bottom where it's not padded. Remember Bill Miller did that in St. Louis, slid, and actually fractured his kneecap.
That is strike 2. Well, if Phelps can get this out without the ball leaving the infield.
See the action on that baseball. Starting in, working his way around.
Back to the mound. Got one there. Real Muto got one there. And the Marlins get the double play. 1, 2, 3.
Nicely done right there by David Phelps. Fields his position beautifully, makes the play, aligns himself well, and Real Muto finishes it off.
Now, you have Panic coming up. You've got first base open.
Walk him.
Although you got Duffy on deck.
Walk him.
And we'll see how the Marlins attack him. Now, do you flat out walk him? Do you pitch around him?
No, you walk him. You have Duffy on deck. We go righty on righty. Hopefully for the Marlins it pans out.
Fastball strike. What a confidence booster for Phelps, who had walked a pair. And maybe that's part of the reluctance of not intentionally walking him, because Phelps has had some control issues this inning.
He has, but he's been around the plate. Been purpose pitches, trying to hit the corners.
And he's out in front of Panic. It's 0-2.
Joe Panic on Panic Backpack Day, trying to be the hero here for the Giants.
Panic is 2 for 4, a triple and a single. And those hits came against a lefty, Adam Conley. Duffy 1 for 3 with a single, has 4 hits in the series. So he's 0-2. And he gets him on a strike 3 call. David Phelps pitches out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. He sticks the fastball on the corner, and Miami still leads it 5-4. For David Phelps. Bases loaded, 1-run game. With 2 strikes, he gets a comebacker and 2 outs. But then he has to face Joe Panic. And he got him.
And you see that 2-seamer right there coming back, a lot of action. Don Mattingly knew what he was doing right then and there, going and sticking with the lefty against the right-hander in Phelps and freezing him on a nasty pitch.
Gregor Blanco is going to slide over to left. Remember, Denard Span came in the ball game. Span is in center. There's Denard Span. That's your Giants outfield. Blanco left. Span center. Hunter Pence is still in right. Meanwhile, Miami will see Santiago Casilla, the Giants closer, and try to add to a 5-4 lead in the ninth. And Casilla throws a strike. Casilla, the 35-year-old, has been in the game a long time, was a setup man back in 2014, then became the closer. Ozuna takes down low. Ozuna, part of that right-handed hitting brigade that has had such a nice ball game today. 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Stanton is 3 for 3 with a home run and a walk. JT Realmuto is 4 for 4 with a home run and a double. And Andy Echeverria added a pinch hit for good measure.
I think the key to their success has been they've been able to recognize and lay off the bad pitches, being able to take the walks. Yesterday and the day before, they were swinging at pitches out of the zone, trying to do too much with one swing.
Got him. So Casilla with a slider, and here comes Yelich.
And it's a filthy slider that Santiago has. It's made him one of the really good closers in the game. Not really a big guy, just a guy that has a big heart and is able to locate the fastball and the sliders. We see A.J. Ramos getting ready for that bottom of the 9th inning.
Yelich now still looking for his first hit. Busted bat. It gets by Casilla. And Yelich is going to have himself a base hit if that's the scorer's interpretation. And it just got under the glove of Santiago Casilla. I would think base hit.
That looks like a base hit right there. Got a lot of distractions with some of the wood flying off the bat also. And they gave it to him. Well deserved.
We've talked about Giancarlo Stanton identifying sliders today. Well, this is a true test because, as you noted, Casilla has a really good one. So a fastball buzzes Stanton.
Now I know he's locked in. One of the biggest reasons, the way, watch how he turns on this ball right there the other way. He usually opens up when he's going bad. Right then and there, stays and turns his back to the baseball.
In the air, center field. Boy, he just missed that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yelich tags. Span, good strong throw. And there are 2 outs. And here comes Chris Johnson. Marlins Live postgame presented by Checkers. Jessica, recap and highlights from game 3, and then it's off to Los Angeles. A lot of highlights in this one. The Stanton homer, the Realmuto homer, 4 hits from JT, 3 from Giancarlo. The throw by Yelich at the plate to nail a giant base runner. David Phelps escape act. Phelps faced 5 hitters total in that 8th inning. And one thing that does is it pushes Ramos into Duffy, Posey, Pence territory in the bottom of the inning. Johnson. And it's foul. 0-1. There's your do-ups for San Francisco.
Marlins would love to see CJ right here hit one in the gap and see Christian run, try to get that extra run. Joe Madden calls this the jug run, going for the jugular.
That's a swing. 0-2. That's tough.
It's tough. These guys do a pretty darn good job. They're very consistent on the bases. I just like that they ask for help. Used to be one of my pet peeves as a hitter when the home plate umpire makes the call on his own.
To me, it's one of baseball's great mysteries. Why is a catcher allowed to turn to an umpire and ask for an appeal, and a hitter is not? And a home plate umpire thinks he's swung.
It's true. See, it's an injustice. I'm with you. I'm not going to disagree with you.
I knew I would have an advocate with me.
I'm there.
Here's a 1-2. That's a slider for a strike, and that's that slider you talked about. A.J. Ramos needs 3 outs in a 5-4 game of the ninth. Miami Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Jeep, visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. 5-4 Miami, bottom 9 in San Francisco. Ichiro in the ball game, and he's out in center field. A.J. Ramos in the game, and he needs 3 outs. Ramos, Miami's closer. And his numbers so far, he's yet to give up a run in 5 appearances. And it isn't going to be easy. Matt Duffy, Buster Posey, Hunter Pence. The best the Giants have in the ninth. Duffy first. And a strike.
A.J. Ramos sending a message right away. I can throw this slider for a strike.
Ramos' last appearance on Thursday, and he gets a strike there, and it's 0-2. He finished the Marlins 5-1 win over the Nationals. It was not a save situation, but he looked sharp. 6 pitches. Slider misses away. And the count is now 1-2. 5-4 Miami. Giants hitting here in the bottom of the 9th. Ramos out in front, 1-2 to Matt Duffy. Slider in the dirt. Now the 2-2. Just got a piece of it. Well, the Giants beat the Marlins soundly on Friday night and repeated with the same effect last night. This is a back and forth battle. Lots of twists and turns. 2-2. Got him, ball in the dirt. Real Muto picks it and gets the outs. And so Ramos has out number 1. And here comes Posey. Coors Light cold hard fact. AT&T Park opened, or rather since 2010. 419 consecutive sellouts. That's the longest active major league streak. Both Philadelphia and Boston had long streaks.
Build the winner and they will come.
Posey doubled in the 7th. And fastball misses up and in. That Nationals game, remember we showed you Bryce Harper tying the game about 2 hours ago. 15th inning, 5-4 Twins. And that's now in the bottom half of the 15th. Posey got a piece of the fastball, a ball, a strike, an out in the 9th. It has been a tag team effort from Miami's bullpen so far. Brian Morris, in relief of Adam Conley, gave up a couple of hits. Both those runs went to Conley's line. Cody Iggy, Kyle Barraclough, David Phelps, and AJ Ramos. One-two to Posey. Got him. Ramos strikes out Posey. So a pair of strikeouts. Pence now is left.
What a good slider, keeping it down in the zone. Then just going straight down. You see Real Muto. He was low, was not going to allow that ball, if it would have hit the dirt, get by him.
Now Pence. And he takes out Pence. Blasted a homer to center off of Conley. That was in the 4th. He's got 4 hits in the series. Does not have a hit against Ramos in his career. That's a swing. Ball in the strike. Pence doesn't like it.
Well, I don't know about his bat head, but his legs. Just if you look at the legs, you would have thought it was a complete swing. See the legs in action, but the barrel, that's a close one.
Fastball, and it's 1-2.
Hunter Pence uses every ounce of his body to generate bat speed and power.
Ramos a strike away. And the 1-2. Not going after the slider.
Nationals tied it up.
5-5 in the bottom of the 15th in DC. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramos. Ground ball, base hit, center field. The Giants are still alive.
Hunter Pence getting on base. Outfield defense was at no doubles again. They should be very deep in no doubles situation. Corners. Rojas should also be on the line. He is, to try to prevent Hunter Pence from scoring on extra base hits.
That is strike 1, and that was called by the home plate umpire.
Fans of all ages are up on their feet screaming.
Ball and a strike. Trevor Brown. And that's out. And it's 2-1. You have Brandon Crawford, a left-handed bat, on deck. Once he gets rolling, Pence can run at first.
Take your pick with the UCLA alum. This one or Crawford? I'll take Brown. Good take. That's a tough pitch to lay off, and he did that. See where it was located. Could have gone either way.
Broken bat on the ground. Rojas got the out. Ball game. Miami wins it. And the Marlins a much, much needed win. They salvaged the last game of the 3-game set, and it's a total team effort. Up and down the lineup, the right-handed bats came to swing it, and they did. JT Realmuto, Giancarlo Stanton with home runs. Adam Conley and the bullpen able to get the win. In 3 hours and 14 minutes, Miami beats the Giants 5-4. Jessica Blaylock live from AT&T with Marlins Live postgame coming up.